Good evening, I'm Angie, and welcome to N3 Prime Time, where we dive deep into the stories that matter. First up, Gary will unravel the story of Tiffany Gomas, the viral plane lady, whose AirPods altercation took the internet by storm. Then we'll dissect the Federal Reserve's controversial decision to halt interest rate hikes and what this means for your wallet. Up next, a startling report on Chinese Bitcoin mining operations in the U.S., alarmingly close to our military's bases. Also, Gary's got the scoop on the former President Trump's trial. Could it be broadcast live, marking a historical first? And finally, we'll dive into Disney's latest flop, The Marvels, and what it says about the changing face of entertainment. But that's not all. Stay tuned for our comment section, where we hear directly from you, and our Looking at You segment spotlighting the movers and shakers causing a stir. Over to you, Gary, for these stories and more.
Good evening and welcome to your no-nonsense guide on what's really going on in America. Tonight we're delving into stories that directly impact you, your family, and this great nation's future. But first, the staggering national debt. It's ballooned to $34 trillion in just 2 decades. Think about it. It's like watching your household debt multiply. Yet all you do is switch from saving for your kids' college to splurging on luxury vacations you can't afford. Or government, led by Biden, seems to have a similar approach. They're pushing to hike taxes on businesses and the wealthy, but here's the kicker. The extra cash isn't for reducing this mountain of debt. No, it's earmarked for new social welfare programs. This is akin to digging a deeper financial hole while ignoring the ladder right beside you. Interestingly, there's a clear link between our soaring debt and the rising price of gold. A decade ago, with $13 trillion in debt, gold was $1,000 an ounce. Now, at $33 trillion, gold hits $2,000. It's a telling indicator that even the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, warns could be your biggest national security threat, surpassing even Russia or China. To safeguard your finances against these reckless fiscal policies, consider what the Patriot Gold Group offers. They've been the top-rated gold IRA dealer for 7 years running. And with their no-fee-for-life IRA, your retirement savings can be in physical gold and silver, a safe haven in these turbulent economic times. Call 888-857-9437 for a free investor guide, and remember to mention Next News for the best service. Now, tossing it over to Angie, what's on tap for tonight's show?
Tonight on N3 Primetime, we're delving into a range of intriguing stories. We'll start with a surprising development in the airline industry. Picture this: airfares so low they rival the cost of a movie ticket. Carriers like Southwest are now offering flights at unprecedented prices. But what's driving this trend? We'll unpack the details and what it means for travelers and the industry alike. Then a shift to a lighter note. Celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay's family just got bigger. We'll take a closer look at Ramsay's household newest addition, baby Jesse James, and what their story tells us about balancing fame and family life. On a more serious note, we'll discuss America's growing credit card debt, now surpassing a staggering $1 trillion. This alarming trend is more than just numbers. It's about the financial pressures facing everyday Americans. And in Washington, D.C., an unusual response to retail theft raises eyebrows. We're investigating the implications of this trend on local communities and what it says about crime and public safety in our cities. Lastly, a quirky story from the Playboy Mansion, a pair's great escape. It's a tale that reminds us of life's unpredictable nature. Stay tuned as we dive into these stories and more. Over to you, Gary, for the first special report of the night.
In this report, we delve into the whirlwind story of Tiffany Gomas, the viral plane lady. Her meltdown aboard American Airlines flight not only captured millions of eyes worldwide, but also ignited a firestorm of controversy and speculation. But there's more to this story than just a viral video. What led to her shocking outburst? How did she cope with becoming a meme overnight? And what does her experience tell us about the state of our republic today? As we unravel these questions, prepare for a narrative that's as gripping as it is enlightening. This isn't just a tale of a viral meme or fame. It's a mirror to our society's challenges and our individual struggles for understanding and acceptance. So stay with us for a report that will shed light on the true story behind the sensational headlines. And trust me, you don't want to miss our final thought on why this matters to every American. Before we delve into the story of Tiffany Gomas, let's take a moment. Much like Gomas found herself in an unexpected situation on the plane, we often face unforeseen challenges in our lives. Our sponsor tonight offers a solution to one of those challenges: rising energy bills. Their innovative device, much like a beacon of stability in turbulent times, helps stabilize your home's electrical currents, protecting your appliances while saving on energy costs. And by supporting them, you're supporting us in bringing you the uncompromised truth. It's simple. Plug in, power up, and save at savepowerbills.com and get 66% off along with other bonuses. That's savepowerbills.com. Place your order today. Now back to Tiffany Gomas. Her outburst on a flight from Dallas to Orlando, captured in a video garnered over 450 million views. It was more than just a moment of anger. It was a culmination of tension and discomfort. Gomas, who was heading to a family vacation, felt strongly compelled to get off a plane after an altercation reportedly over stolen AirPods. With her designer handbag in tow, she demanded the plane return to the gate, leading to this now infamous outburst. Watch.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the fuck off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the fuck off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two fucks. But I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can fucking die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Wow. Sorry about the curse words there, but that statement on the plane, that blank is not real, wasn't about someone's existence, but rather about the person being fake in her eyes. This figure of speech, used in a heated moment, was misinterpreted by millions, leading to rampant online speculation and even some outrageous theories. Some thought she was referring to paranormal activity, adding an almost otherworldly twist to the tale. The aftermath of the incident was a roller coaster for her. Initially, panic set in as she realized the potential for her outburst to go viral. She recalled feeling pure terror about the repercussions and the thought of her actions being reposted and retweeted endlessly. And her fears were not unfounded. The video did go viral beyond her wildest expectations. In a candid conversation with Jesse Waters on Jesse Waters Primetime, she reflected on her language and her actions, and she acknowledged the inappropriateness of her words and her loss of control. This admission is significant. It's a display of personal accountability and growth, something that's often missing in our public discourse. Watch.
Did you realize your life was about to change?
Pretty quickly. As soon as I left the airport, I think panic set in, and I went home, couldn't relax. Obviously, it was just pure terror of like what's going to happen next, and I couldn't fathom the amount of times this would get reposted and retweeted, and it just, I mean, I knew it was going to go viral, but I didn't think it was going to go that viral.
Okay. At what point were you looking at your phone and you were just saying, oh my God?
The next morning, I was like searching like crazy, crazy lady on a plane, American Airlines, like just anything that I could possibly think of.
You were searching crazy lady on a plane for yourself.
I was searching anything and everything that I could think that someone else would post. And I found it pretty quickly that next morning, and it had already like started to be like retweeted or on TikTok, whatever. I don't even know what that's called.
I don't know either. How are your parents handling this, Tiff?
They have been so incredibly amazing. My support system is out of this world. That is the only reason why I think I survived it.
Okay, so you have survived it.
Coming out on the other side, finally. I did go into hiding, like you said, for a good month and a half. Didn't come out of my house whatsoever. And then finally, yes, I did. And now I'm able to laugh at it, not at the situation itself, just at myself. Like it's an insane situation to be in. Not a proud moment whatsoever.
What did you see?
I did not see anything.
You didn't see anything?
No, I wish I did. It would have been a way better story.
You didn't see anything, then what were you saying that mother effer isn't real?
Yeah, the language. I've been working on that. It was talking to a specific person that I had an altercation with. It was just a figure of speech. Not a good one. You know, but when you're worked up and you're spiraling out of control, you're not really like thinking your words clearly through.
Oh, trust me, I know exactly what you're talking about. I never think through what I say. I probably should. So there was an altercation with a gentleman?
Yes.
And what did the gentleman do?
Legally, I can't get into all of those details.
Oh, are you suing the gentleman?
No.
Is he suing you?
No, but it is not advised to be talked about.
Okay, so it's something we can't talk about.
Yes.
But he's a bad guy.
I don't know him personally.
You don't know him personally, but he did a bad thing.
It was an altercation that I felt really uncomfortable in the situation, and I needed to depart the plane.
So let me guess. He was either hitting on you or he was putting his seat back really, really far.
Exactly.
Exactly.
There's no leg room. I mean, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Well, I'm glad everything's all right. Do you now go to the airport and everyone says, that's the plane lady?
Oh, man. It didn't happen today. I think people kind of like talk, but there's only been a couple scenarios where people come up and ask. So I'm thankful.
That's because you're wearing a different outfit. If you wear the same outfit,
well, and supposedly I look different every single time. So I think it keep people guessing.
When you see yourself, I mean, you really had your finger out there, Tiff.
No, it was it was.
What do you think when you see that? What do you think?
Well,
and you had the little move, you had the thing going.
I also didn't know I pointed with 2 fingers. Like, had no clue. But I guess I would be a really great flight attendant because I had that down pat.
Okay, Tiffany, she's announcing here she's going to be a flight attendant.
No.
All right. Well, thank you very much. It's very nice to meet
so
you.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, she went into hiding for a month, grappling with the shame and embarrassment. And this period of self-imposed isolation was a time for introspection and realization. When she finally stepped out of her house, she began to see the lighter side of the situation. She even joked about her unintentional pointing technique, humorously suggesting she'd make a great flight attendant. Her journey of self-discovery and acceptance was not solitary. She credits her parents for being her rock during this time. Their unwavering support was the buoy that kept her afloat in a sea of public scrutiny and personal regret. In an exclusive interview with Inside Edition, she again opened up about the incident. She described it as the worst moment of her life, a sentiment that many can emphasize with. The experience of being so publicly humiliated, followed by the realization it was captured for the world to see, is something that most of us hope never to endure. But endure she did, and her story is not just about a viral video or a public meltdown. It's about the power of resilience and the ability to laugh at oneself. It's about navigating the complexities of sudden fame and finding a path forward. Her story also raises questions about our culture's fascination with viral videos and public meltdowns. As a society, we're quick to judge, to laugh, and to share, often without considering the human being at the center of these viral moments. Her experience is a stark reminder of the double-edged sword of internet fame. Despite the global attention and becoming the subject of Halloween costumes and spoofs, Gomas is focusing on rebuilding her life. Her ventures in marketing and real estate and her passion for travel, albeit limited by the airline ban, show a woman determined to move beyond a moment of infamy. The story of Tiffany Gomas is more than just a viral video or an airplane outburst. It's a reflection of our times, of how quickly a moment can spiral out of control and capture the world's attention, and of the human capacity for resilience and growth in the face of adversity. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe and stay updated with our in-depth and insightful stories that matter to you and our great republic. In closing, Tiffany Gomas' story is a cautionary tale for all of us. It's a reminder of the fragility of our public persona in the age of viral media, but it's also a testament to the human spirit's resilience. Gomas, through her ordeal, demonstrates the ability to confront one's mistakes, learn from them, and even find humor in one's own flaws. This story matters to the American people because it reflects our collective journey in this digital era where a single moment can define us but does not have to confine us. As we navigate through our republic's evolving landscape, let's remember the importance of empathy, understanding, and the power of redemption. Her story is not just about a viral plane lady. It's about each of us and our capacity to rise above our lowest moments and soar towards new horizons. Now over to Angie with a report on holiday travel. What have you found, Angie?
Airlines are turning heads with fares so low they're being compared to movie ticket prices. This quarter, with a record 260 million seats to fill, carriers like Southwest are offering one-way trips as low as $29. It's not just Southwest, though. This trend is industry-wide as airlines scramble to fill seats, especially during off-peak times. With travel habits returning to pre-pandemic norms, airlines are getting creative, dropping or barely raising last-minute fares. This shift is huge considering there's an 8% rise in domestic seats and a 6% increase in flights this quarter. But here's the catch, even with lower fares, airlines like JetBlue, Spirit, and Frontier might face losses. As the holiday season approaches, expect high demand despite low prices. And remember, these low fares might not last forever. So it's a chance for travelers to snag a deal. Dive deeper, tap the link below. Gary, let's delve into the Federal Reserve's unsteady strategy endangering economic prospects. What can you tell us?
And now we're peeling back the curtain on the Federal Reserve's latest move, or should I say, non-move. It's a story of hope over strategy, a gamble with the nation's economic future. The Fed's recent pause on the interest rate hike has raised eyebrows and questions. Are they out of plans? Simply crossing their fingers and hoping for the best? Well, this isn't just about numbers on a chart. It's about the financial stability of our republic. You need to hear the full story because what happens next could impact every aspect of our economy, from your paycheck to your savings. You don't want to miss my final thought, a crucial piece of this complex puzzle. So stay with us as we dive deep into the heart of the Fed's strategy, or lack thereof. Now, before we explore the Federal Reserve's latest, a nod to our sponsors akin to the Fed's role in our economy's stability. They're the fiscal policy driving our news delivery, and supporting them is like investing in our mission for economic insight. Our national debt soaring from $6 to $34 trillion in 2 decades reflects in gold's rising value, much like the Fed's balance between inflation and growth. Patriot Gold Group, offering a no-fee-for-life IRA, mirrors this stability amidst the volatility. When you cite Next News with them, it strengthens our goal of informed economic journalism. As we scrutinize the Fed's cautious strategies, remember, engaging with Patriot Gold Group reinforces your understanding of our financial system. Give them a call, 888-857-9437, for a free guide to navigate these uncertain times, just as we navigate economic complexities together. Now, the Federal Reserve's Open Federal Market Committee recently held a target policy interest rate at 5.5%, a pause that signals uncertainty at best, incompetence at worst. The Fed hopes that this move will rein in inflation while avoiding high unemployment, but hope is not a strategy. This pause isn't just a momentary breather, it's a sign of a deeper issue. The Fed, for all its expertise and data, essentially admits it's guessing. Chairman Jerome Powell's own words betray this uncertainty. He confessed the inability to pinpoint the neutral rate in real time. This lack of precision isn't a minor oversight, it's a fundamental flaw in the Fed's approach. Watch.
Obviously, we're monitoring, we're attentive to the increase in longer-term yields, and which have contributed to a tightening of broader financial conditions since the summer. As I mentioned, persistent changes in broader financial conditions can have implications for the path of monetary policy. In this case, the tighter financial conditions we're seeing from higher long-term rates, but also from other sources like the stronger dollar and lower equity prices, could matter for future rate decisions as long as two conditions are satisfied. The first is that the tighter conditions would need to be persistent, and that is something that remains to be seen. But that's critical. If things are fluctuating back and forth, that's not what we're looking for. With financial conditions, we're looking for persistent changes that are material. The second thing is that the longer-term rates that have moved up, they can't simply be a reflection of expected policy moves from us. That we would then, that if we didn't follow through on them, then the rates would come back down. So, and I would say on that, it does not appear that an expectation of higher near-term policy rates is causing the increase in longer-term rates. So, in the meantime, though, perhaps the most important thing is that these higher Treasury yields are showing through to higher borrowing costs for households and businesses, and those higher costs are going to weigh on economic activity to the extent this tightening persists. And, the mind's eye goes to the 8%, near 8% mortgage rate, which could have, pretty significant effect on housing. So that's how I would answer your question.
Just as a quick follow-on to be clear on this, in your opening statement and just now, you seem to imply that you are not yet confident that financial conditions are restrictive enough to finish the fight. Is that true?
Yes, that's exactly right. To say it a different way, we haven't made any decisions about future meetings. We have not made a determination, and we're not. I will say that we're not confident at this time that we've reached such a stance. We're not confident that we haven't. We're not confident that we have, and that is the way we're going to be going into these future meetings. is to be, just determining the extent of any additional further policy tightening that may be appropriate to return inflation to 2% over time.
Now, the Fed's strategy, or lack thereof, has become a game of wait and see. Each meeting seems to be a roll of the dice, a flip of a coin. Their recent press release is a masterclass in vague language, essentially stating they'll adjust policy as needed based on incoming data. This isn't foresight, it's hindsight masquerading as policy. For years, we've been told the Fed is the guardian of economic stability, armed with the best economists and data models, yet now we see them for what they are, a group of individuals tinkering with knobs and levers, crossing their fingers, and hoping for the best. The Fed's inability to forecast accurately is well documented. Their track record is a series of missed signals and delayed reactions. From Chairman Bernanke's dismissal of the 2008 recession threat to Powell's misjudgment of 2021's price inflation, their predictions often miss the mark. This isn't just an academic exercise. These missteps have real-world consequences. And the Fed's indecision and lack of clarity affect everything from your mortgage rate to your grocery bill. Their current stance of cautious observation rather than proactive planning risks exacerbating these very issues. And it's not just economics at play. There's a political angle too. The myth of the Fed's independence is just that. It's a myth. They are at their core a political entity making decisions with an eye on the short-term electoral cycle rather than the long-term health of our republic's economy. Their balancing act is precarious. On one hand, they must manage inflation and maintain credibility. On the other, they can't allow unemployment to reach politically toxic levels, all this while ensuring the federal government has access to cheap debt. It's a tightrope walk with the nation's economy in the balance. And the Fed's short-term focus is at odds with the needs of the average American. There's little consideration for building a sound economy, fostering investment, or helping citizens save for retirement. It's all about keeping up appearances, tweaking policies month by month with no clear long-term vision. This strategy, or lack thereof, leaves us all in a state of uncertainty. When will the next rate hike come? Will there be a rate cut? These questions linger unanswered as the Fed plays its guessing game. In closing, let me remind you, if you found value in this report, tap subscribe. Your support allows us to keep bringing these critical insights to light, especially during times of economic uncertainty. So what does this mean for you and for us and for the American people? Well, it's more than just numbers and policies. It's about the security and stability of our economy, the economy of our republic. The Fed's current approach is hope for the best strategy. Well, it's a risky game with high stakes. It reflects a lack of foresight and planning that could have far-reaching consequences. As Americans, we deserve better. We deserve a Federal Reserve that is not only transparent, but also proactive and strategic in its decision-making. Or why not just end it altogether, right? Our economic future should not hinge on guesswork or political maneuvering. It's time for a change, for a Fed that aligns with long-term interests of the American people, not just the short-term political goals. And that's why this story matters, why it demands our attention. It's not just about the Federal Reserve, it's about the future of our nation. And as far as I'm concerned, we could do without it. Angie is up next, and she's got a report on a celebrity chef, Ramsay's newborn son. What details have you got for us?
We've got a delightful update from the world of celebrity news. Gordon Ramsay, known for his fiery persona, just shared a heartwarming surprise. He and his wife Tanya recently welcomed a baby boy, Jesse James Ramsay. This happy news was shared on Instagram, catching everyone off guard. The Ramsays, who've always been private, did not hint at expanding their family. With Jesse's arrival, their family now includes 3 boys and 3 girls. Gordon, who just turned 57, calls Jesse an amazing birthday present. This addition balances the Ramsay household, which already includes Megan, 26, twins Holly and Jack, 23, Tilly, 22, and Oscar, 4. In today's constant media glare, the Ramsays show us it's possible to maintain privacy and enjoy life's precious moments. Dive deeper, tap the link below. Gary, you're covering crypto conflicts. What's the latest development?
We're uncovering a story that sounds like it's straight out of a spy novel, but it's happening right here in America. Chinese Bitcoin mines are cropping up across our nation. And it's not just about cryptocurrency. These operations, located alarmingly close to critical U.S. military installations, pose a stark threat to our national security. We're talking about more than just mining digital currency. It's a game of power, surveillance, and potentially espionage. This is not just another news story, it's a wake-up call, and the implications are vast and potentially devastating. So what does this mean for the security of our republic? Stay with me as we delve deep into this urgent issue, and don't miss my final thought, its perspective on why this matters to each and every one of us. Before we dive into this critical issue, let's talk about our sponsors. Just like our report tonight exposes hidden dangers, our sponsors help unveil the hidden issues within us, like excess belly fat. This isn't just about looks, it's about health, and supporting them is akin to supporting our mission to bring you truth and awareness. They offer scientifically formulated solutions for weight management and a metabolic boost, much like how we aim to shed light on issues that affect your well-being. So grab their exclusive offer at trimwithgary.com to support your health and our work. Now, back to the story. Chinese cryptocurrency mining operations discovered in 12 U.S. states have set off alarm bells. The most striking revelation comes from Cheyenne, Wyoming, where the Pentagon is now monitoring a Chinese Bitcoin mining facility just a mile away from Francis E. Warren Air Force Base, home of the Mighty 90, responsible for the Minuteman III ICBMs. This is not an isolated incident. Microsoft's report to the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States raised concerns about the Wyoming location, suggesting potential comprehensive intelligence collection activities by China. U.S. officials fear these operations could enable surveillance on strategic military locations, and the use of hardware from Bitmain linked to the Chinese Communist Party only intensifies these concerns. Following China's 2021 ban on Bitcoin mining equipment, U.S. skyrockets raise questions about their real purpose. Another entity, YZY Capital Holdings, has also acquired land near Warren Air Force Base. These firms often hide behind shell companies with ties to the CCP. The clandestine nature of these operations is alarming, suggesting more than just economic motives. Previously, China dominated global cryptocurrency mining, but post-2021, as Beijing clamped down on these activities, the U.S. became the new hub. These mining operations, spread across former factories and warehouses, are driven by the quest for cheap electricity. However, this shift has broader implications than just energy consumption. China's ban on private cryptocurrency mining was part of a larger strategy to control capital flow and eliminate competition for its own central bank digital currency. In contrast, the U.S. is now grappling with potential national security threats posed by these Chinese-operated mines. The concentration of computing power in these facilities could be exploited by cyber attacks, unauthorized acquisition of intellectual property, or financial data theft. Additionally, the strain on U.S. power grids by these energy-intensive operations poses another layer of threat, with potential for grid disruptions and unearthing vulnerabilities in our energy infrastructure. Local governments, desperate for economic rejuvenation, have welcomed these operations, potentially overlooking the risk. The CCP's track record of influence operations can't be ignored. By embedding themselves in economically vulnerable regions, they could exert subtle influence, potentially manipulating local officials. Moreover, the control over a significant portion of the Bitcoin mining network could enable China to disrupt cryptocurrency price dynamics, leveraging economic advantage. The CCP's involvement in aiding Mexican drug cartels in money laundering through Bitcoin adds another layer of concern, illustrating the potential for these operations to facilitate illicit financial activities. And these incidents include the recent discovery of an unlicensed Chinese biolab in California. They highlight the risks of permitting Chinese companies to operate on U.S. soil. They exploit our freedoms while potentially undermining our national security. Government responses to these threats have been slow and fragmented, allowing these concerns to persist and potentially escalate. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. Your support is crucial in our ongoing mission to bring these significant issues to light, safeguarding our nation's security and our well-being. As we conclude this report, it's essential to reflect on the broader implications of what we've uncovered. The presence of Chinese Bitcoin mines across the United States isn't just a matter of economic competition. It's a glaring national security issue. The CCP's strategic positioning, disguised under the guise of cryptocurrency mining, has the potential to undermine our nation's security from within. It's a sophisticated form of espionage leveraging our open economy against us. The story isn't just about the mining of digital currency. It's about the mining of information, influence, and power. As Americans, it's our duty to remain vigilant and aware of these subtle yet significant threats. Our republic's safety and the integrity of our national security depend on it. Let's stay informed and stay alert and ensure our nation's guardians are equipped to counter these covert threats effectively. Now, Angie, you're taking a closer look at credit card balances surging. What have you got?
Here's an important update on the American economy. Americans are increasingly relying on credit cards for daily expenses, leading to a record high in credit card debt. As of September's end, the New York Federal Reserve reports that credit card debt has hit a new peak of $1.8 trillion, the highest since 2003. This marks an 8-year growth trend. Alongside this, we're seeing a worrying increase in delinquencies, now at about 3% of all outstanding debt. Factors contributing to this include relaxed lending standards, financial hardships due to inflation, and high interest rates. The average credit card APR has reached a staggering 20.72%, the highest since 1985. With inflation still high, U.S. households, especially those with lower income, are feeling the pinch. This growing debt crisis highlights the financial challenges many are facing. Dive deeper, tap the link below. Gary, you're exploring Trump's court battle. What insights do you have?
Now we're diving into a story of unprecedented magnitude. Imagine for the first time in history, a former president's trial might be broadcast live for the world to see. Donald Trump's name is synonymous with defiance and controversy. Well, it's now at the forefront of a legal battle that's more than just a trial. It's a fight for transparency in our republic. Media outlets, usually at odds with Trump, are joining his call for an open courtroom. Why? Because what's unfolding isn't just about one man, it's about the very fabric of our American justice system. And what does this mean for our republic? How will this shape our future understanding of justice and transparency? These are questions we must explore, and in the end, I'll share why this isn't just news. It's a defining moment for America, so stay with us. You don't want to miss this. Now, before we jump into our special report, let me draw an analogy. Just as we rely on our sponsors to bring you top-notch news, think of this trial's request for broadcast as a demand for transparency in our justice system. Supporting our sponsors is like affirming our commitment to bringing truth to light. And speaking of light, let's talk about anti-aging. It's like seeing the truth in our own lives, and there's no miracle pill for youth, but our sponsor's special collagen is the next best thing. It maintains and promotes a youthful complexion more effectively than most products out there. Join the thousands who have experienced its benefits and get 53% off and free bonuses at healthwithgary.com. Now back to our story. President Donald Trump's unprecedented legal battle has taken a dramatic turn with his insistence on a televised trial. Yes, could this be his next reality show? Well, this request, echoed by major media outlets, is not just a whim of a high-profile defendant. It's a symbol of the fight for transparency in our republic. Trump, standing trial for accusations of federal election interference, has made a bold statement. He said, "I want this trial to be seen by everybody in the world." This isn't just a call for personal vindication. It's a challenge to the very system. His lawyers assert that televising the trial is crucial for Americans to witness what they term as a politically motivated prosecution. Watch.
The Constitution has repeatedly denied me my fundamental constitutional rights, including my right to have a trial. I want the trial. I announced last night, you probably saw it. They said, "Sir, do you want a trial with or without cameras?" Now, most people would say without. I say the opposite. I want this trial to be seen by everybody in the world. The prosecution wishes to continue this travesty in darkness, and I want sunlight. That's a nice way of saying it. Isn't that pretty? I want sunlight. I want everything exposed to the public, including the election fraud, because this is all about election fraud, which took place in 2020 and the 2020 presidential election, so that such a thing can never happen again to our country. You know, we want paper ballots. We want same-day voting. That's what we want. And we don't want mail-in voting.
But why does this matter? Well, for one, it's about public trust. The media, often critiqued for its biases, is unifying behind Trump in this demand. This isn't about politics, it's about the people's right to know. In a republic, the public's trust in the judicial process is paramount. The Justice Department's opposition to this request brings another dimension to the debate. Citing a long-standing policy against cameras in federal courtrooms, they argue that the judge overseeing the case lacks the authority to make an exception. This isn't just a legal technicality. It's a cornerstone of our justice system, decorum and order. Well, let's consider the implications of a televised trial. Trump's case is not an ordinary one. It's a historic event involving a former president accused of trying to subvert the will of voters. This isn't just a trial. It's a chapter of American history unfolding before our eyes. Shouldn't it be accessible to the very people it impacts? On the other side of the argument, there are legitimate concerns. The Justice Department warns that broadcasting proceedings might affect the behavior of lawyers and witnesses, leading to grandstanding and possibly compromising the trial's integrity. And what about the witnesses? There's a real fear of harassment and threats, especially in our era of intense public scrutiny and social media. The stakes are incredibly high. Trump, the Republican frontrunner for the 2024 nomination, sees this trial as a platform. This isn't just a legal defense, it's also a political strategy. But let's not forget the role of the judiciary. U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan, appointed by Obama, is steadfast in her schedule. The decision to televise or not rests heavily on her shoulders. It's a decision that could shape the public perception of justice in America. And the media's involvement in this case is also noteworthy. Their request to Chutkan last month for transparency highlights a broader concern: the potential for distrust in the legal system, especially in a polarized electorate. NBC News' Rebecca Blumenstein argues that access to this trial is crucial for historical accuracy and public understanding. Contrast this with the situation in Florida, where U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon, overseeing Trump's classified documents prosecution, is delaying the case. This juxtaposition of the two trials, one seeking delay, the other demanding immediate transparency, paints a complex picture of justice in America. And the pandemic's impact on court proceedings can't be ignored either. It led to a temporary relaxation of rules allowing public access over the phone or through video conference. This precedent of increased access could be a factor in the decision-making process. As we near the end of our report, let's remember our call to action. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. It's not just about supporting us, it's about affirming your right to informed, transparent reporting, the very essence of what this trial stands for. As we wrap up this special report, let's reflect on why this story matters to every American. This isn't just a trial. It's a symbol of our republic's struggle with transparency and truth. Whether or not Trump's trial is televised, it represents a larger battle, one between public access and traditional legal protocols. It's about the American people's right to witness history being made, to form their own opinions based on unfiltered information. This trial, with its implications for media transparency and judicial integrity, will leave an indelible mark on our understanding of justice and democracy. It challenges us to consider the balance between a fair trial and public knowledge. As Americans, it's our duty to stay informed, engaged, and vigilant in upholding the principles of our republic. This story isn't just about Trump, it's about the enduring legacy of American justice. Now, Angie, you are delving into some new news about soaring retail theft. What can you tell us about this?
In Washington, D.C., a CVS store has taken an unusual step against retail theft, replacing real toilet paper with pictures. This response to increasing thefts, particularly by homeless, reflects a growing crime trend affecting local businesses and public safety. D.C., with nearly 5,000 homeless people, sees stores frequently ransacked. To combat this, customers now must ask for assistance to buy certain products. This approach, more common in Democrat-run cities, raises concerns about lax enforcement and mild penalties for shoplifting. Despite a 68% surge in retail theft, CVS isn't closing its D.C. stores. But this isn't just a D.C. issue. In San Francisco, stores are locking up frozen foods and other goods. This worrying trend underscores the challenges in tackling retail theft and its impact on community safety and economic stability. Dive deeper, tap the link below. Gary, what details do you have on Marvel's latest release at the box office?
In this special report, we delve into a story that's not just about box office numbers, it's a tale of misplaced priorities and cultural shifts. The Marvels, Disney's latest superhero saga, was poised to be a cinematic triumph. Instead, it's spiraling into what may be the studio's biggest box office flop ever. This isn't just a financial stumble. It's a reflection of a deeper dilemma facing one of Hollywood's giants. The numbers are in, and they are dismal. Why did this happen? What does this flop say about the state of our entertainment industry and the values it's promoting? There's more to the story than meets the eye, so stay with us as we unravel the intricate web of decisions, missteps, and cultural ties that led to this moment. You don't want to miss our final thought, shedding light on why this matters to every American. Now, before we dive into our detailed analysis, let's talk about preparedness both in our content and in our lives. Just as we meticulously prepare these reports to bring you top-notch news, it's crucial to prepare for unexpected situations in our daily lives. This is where our sponsor, My Patriot Supply, steps in. They're not just a name on your screen. They are the backbone of self-reliance. With a 3-month food kit, you'll have delicious, nutritious meals that last up to 25 years. Think of it as your emergency plan, much like we plan each story to bring you the truth. Support them and support us at preparewithgary.com, and you're supporting our mission to deliver quality, insightful news. Remember, the unthinkable is here, and be prepared with My Patriot Supply and stay informed with us. Now let's get back to the Marvels. The Walt Disney Company, once hailed as a titan in the entertainment industry, seems to have hit another snag, a big one. This week, Disney CEO Bob Iger admitted a significant lapse in focus concerning their content decisions and executions. This acknowledgement came amid the dismal performance of Marvel Studios' latest offering, The Marvels. Now, pre-release projections painted a gloomy picture for The Marvels, estimating an opening weekend haul of about 75 to 80 million, a figure far below the mark for a film with a colossal $270 million production budget. And remember, that's not even factoring in the marketing costs, which could double that number. The break-even point, a staggering $550 million. But the real shocker came with the opening weekend estimates. Ready for this? A paltry $47 million. This isn't just underperforming, it's historically low for a Marvel Cinematic Universe film. It's not just a flop, it's a nosedive. For over a decade, Marvel seemed untouchable. Their cinematic universe was a masterclass in storytelling and character development. The films like the Avengers series not only entertained but resonated with audience worldwide. But post-Endgame, the magic seems to have faded. The shift in focus is palpable. Where once there was a laser-like emphasis on beloved characters and interlocking storylines, now there's a noticeable pivot towards meeting diversity, equity, and inclusion quotas. Out went cinematic and charismatic leads like Robert Downey Jr., and in came Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. While Larson's first outing was commercially successful, her performance received mixed reviews at best. Yet, Disney doubled down, pouring even more funds into the sequel, The Marvels, and placing it in the hands of a relatively inexperienced director, Nia DaCosta. The result? Underwhelming trailers and a general apathy towards the character and the film. The decline isn't isolated to the Marvels. Marvel Studios has seen a series of misfires with films like Ant-Man, Black Widow, and Shang-Chi underperforming. The common thread? A drift from quality, inoffensive entertainment to overtly political messaging. Marvel's venture into television with shows like She-Hulk only exacerbated this trend, alienating a significant portion of their audience. The failure of the Marvels is emblematic of a broader issue within. Disney and Marvel, Kevin Feige, and his team now face a daunting task of reevaluating their strategy. It's clear that the once infallible formula is no longer working. Audiences are voting with their wallets, and the message is clear: return to making quality films that resonate with a broad audience, not just a vocal minority. Disney and Marvel's response to this debacle will be telling. Will they adhere to the wisdom of their past successes, or will they continue down this precarious path, risking further financial losses and erosion of their brand? As we watch this unfold, let's not forget the broader implications. This isn't just about one film or one studio. It's a reflection of the changing cultural landscape where entertainment giants are increasingly out of touch with their audiences. The values and narratives being pushed are often at odds with the desires of a significant portion of the viewership. Disney's misstep with the Marvels is not a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call not just for them, but for the entire industry. It's a reminder that the core of storytelling, relatable characters, compelling narratives, and universal themes should not be sacrificed at the altar of political correctness and social agendas. In conclusion, the Marvels may well be a turning point for Disney and Marvel. The ramifications of this flop will likely ripple through the industry, prompting a reevaluation of how stories are told and what audiences truly want. This isn't just about the bottom line, it's about understanding and respecting the viewer. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe and join us as we continue to uncover the stories that matter, providing insights and analysis that go beyond the headlines. Stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay vigilant. So why does the story of the Marvels matter to us, the American people? Well, it's more than just a tale of financial loss or a studio's misstep. It's a stark reminder of the importance of staying true to foundational values. In a republic like ours, the voice of the people matters, and this extends to the cultural products we consume. Disney and Marvel's failure with the Marvels signals a disconnect between the media giants and the audience they serve. It's a cautionary tale of what happens when entities lose sight of their core mission and audience. As we witness the saga unfold, let's remember the power that we hold as consumers. Our choices at the box office are not just about entertainment, they're a reflection of our values, our desires, and our voice. This story matters because it's about us, our culture, our preferences, and our future. Now, Angie, apparently something happened at the Playboy Mansion with the parrots. What is the latest in this unusual story?
In a twist at the Playboy Mansion, a parrot from its exotic bird collection has made a daring escape. This unexpected event adds a new chapter to the mansion's history, known for its high-profile owner, Hugh Hefner. 2 weeks ago, the bird flew out, heading towards the nearby LA Country Club. The LA Fire Department tried to recapture it, leading to a comedic yet unsuccessful rescue attempt. The parrot's whereabouts remain unknown. Darren Metropolis, the mansion's current owner, hasn't commented yet. Dive deeper, tap the link below. That's all the news I have for today's edition of N3 Prime Time. Now let's hear what you had to say in the comments section.
Welcome to the comment section. Tonight we're diving straight into your thoughts on the buzzing topic of The Rock to replace Joe Biden. Let's see what you, the true voice of America, have to say on this one. Our first comment comes from Ginger, who doesn't mince words. He voted for and backed Biden. Enough said. Trump 2024. Well, Ginger, you're spot on. It's as clear as day, isn't it? When you stand by a sinking ship, it doesn't just reflect your judgment, but also forecast the kind of captain you'd be. And frankly, it's a warning that we ought to heed. Trump's vision for America was distinct and unapologetic, a stark contrast to what we're seeing now. Next, Philip declares President Trump is the real people's champion. And Philip, you're echoing the statement of millions who feel unheard. Trump, unlike many, didn't just speak to the elite. He spoke to the hard-working American, to the forgotten man and woman. He wasn't just a president, he was a movement, and still is. And he's rallying against the status quo. And also now we have Mr. George, who bluntly states, are you serious? How is this not going from bad to worse? And anyone who votes for Johnson deserves what they get. Well, George, it's hard to disagree. Swapping one questionable choice for another doesn't solve any problems. It only deepens them. It's like jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire. We need solutions, not celebrity distractions. And Dad, 7275 says, I'll pass on Dwayne. Just shows how desperate the Democrats are. Exactly, Dad, 7275. Isn't it a sign of the times? When parties are more focused on star power than actual policy, substance, and leadership qualities, it tells you all you need to know about their priorities. It's not about America, it's about their image. And finally, Patty asks, does anybody take the office of the United States presidency seriously? What a joke. Patty, your frustration is palpable and justified. The presidency is an office of immense responsibility and dignity. To see it reduced to a casting call for celebrities is not just disappointing, it's a disservice to the American people. So there you have it, folks. Your voice is loud and clear, and it's evident you're looking for leadership, not a popularity contest. You deserve better, and frankly, so does America. And that's all for tonight's comment section, and keep those comments coming. Now let's see who we have our eye on in our Looking at You segment. Welcome to our segment, Looking at You. Tonight's spotlight is on Governor Gavin Newsom of California, who's recently given us some eyebrow-raising comments about cleanup efforts in his state. So let's break it down. Governor Newsom has openly admitted what many have speculated. Cleanup efforts in California were given a sudden boost just because of the APEC Leaders Summit. Watch.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true, because it's true. But it's also true for months and months and months prior to APEC, we've been having different conversations.
This frank admission is almost comical in its bluntness. But there was more. He insisted the discussions were ongoing for months. Really? That's news to anyone who's been navigating the less than pristine streets of California cities. So why should this matter to you, the American citizens of our republic? It's a classic case of political priorities being quite literally swept under the rug. The sudden scramble to beautify the streets for international visitors while regular Californians wade through neglected public spaces speaks volumes about Newsom's administration. It's a perfect example, putting on a show rather than rolling up sleeves for the long haul. It seems the streets only matter when the world is watching. So if you delve into the truths and half-truths of our politicians, keep this in mind. Actions should speak louder than convenient cleanups. So stay with us on N3 Primetime for straightforward, no-nonsense insights. We've covered a lot of stories today, stories that reach into the heart of what it means to be an American in these turbulent times. We start with Tiffany Gomas, the viral plane lady whose sudden viral fame reminds us of our culture's obsession with social media and its impact on real lives. Her story isn't just about a viral moment, it's about resilience and the human spirit in the face of public scrutiny. We delved into the Federal Reserve's pause on interest rate hikes, a move that reflects more than economic strategy. It's about the uncertainties that everyday Americans face. From your mortgage payments to your grocery bills, these decisions have real impacts on your life. And the emergence of Chinese Bitcoin mining operations in the United States, alarmingly close to key military installations, is more than just a business trend. It's a national security concern, a reminder that our economic actions have far-reaching consequences. Then there's the potential live broadcast of former President Trump's trial. It's not just a legal matter. It's a battle for transparency and trust in our judicial system. In entertainment, Disney's The Marvels' underperformance at the box office signals a shift in public taste. It's a wake-up call to industries everywhere that content must resonate with audiences and not just tick boxes. We also looked at the airline industry offering fares as low as movie tickets. This isn't just about travel deals. It's about how industries adapt to changing times. From Gordon Ramsay's Family News to the rise in credit card debt, the locking up of goods in retail stores due to theft, and even a parrot's escape from the Playboy Mansion, each story tonight reflects a facet of our complex society. These stories matter because they're about us, our republic, our struggles, our triumphs, and our relentless pursuit of a better tomorrow. So that's all from us tonight on N3 Primetime. I want to extend a special thanks to Angie for her insightful news briefs and, of course, to you, our viewers, for tuning in and actively participating in our live chat. Your engagement is what makes this show a cornerstone of informed discussion. Before we sign off, let's touch on a critical issue that impacts us all. I'm talking about our national debt. It's ballooned to an astonishing $34 trillion in just 2 decades. So think about that for a moment. We're spending more on interest payments now than on funding the Pentagon. With proposals to raise taxes on businesses and the wealthy, only to funnel this revenue into new social welfare programs, it's a concern that hits very close to home. Now, this isn't just numbers on a page. There's a direct correlation between our national debt and the price of gold. A decade ago, with $13 trillion in debt, gold was $1,000 an ounce. Fast forward today, with $33 trillion in debt, gold has soared to $2,000 an ounce. This isn't mere coincidence. It's a stark indicator of our economic health. In these uncertain times, consider safeguarding your finances with the Patriot Gold Group. They offer a no-fee for life IRA, where your IRA or 401k can be physically stored in gold and silver. It's a move that could provide some stability in an unstable economic landscape. Give them a call, 888-857-9437 for a free investor guide. And remember to mention Next News for the absolute best service. The Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold IRA dealer for 7 consecutive years. So thank you again for joining us tonight. Remember, it's not just about staying informed, it's about staying prepared. Good night.